Have you ever noticed that bitter aftertaste of a compromise? That hollow weight in your chest, walking out of a meeting knowing you left a piece of your soul on the table? Here is the harsh reality. Life is a permanent negotiation, from the moment you open your eyes to the moment you close them. You are not just negotiating for money. You negotiate for your worth, your time, and the respect others are forced to give you. Most people lose before they even speak. Why? They believe negotiation is a zero-sum game, a battle where one bone must break for the other to heal. They think you must either be hard and destroy the relationship, or soft and betray your own value. This false choice is exactly what keeps them losing, forever. Today, I reveal the secret Harvard locked away for decades. How to get exactly what you want, without raising your voice, without sacrificing your dignity, and how to make the other side feel like they won while handing you everything you asked for. But stay until the end. 99% of people never learn what I reveal in the final chapter. Join Vested Network. We don't just share information. We forge the consciousness to rule your world. Subscribe now and let us begin. Don't skip anything. The part you think you know is where the biggest surprise waits. Picture this. You and your partner argue about where to have dinner. Volume rises. Words sharpen. Suddenly, it is no longer about food. It has become, "You are always so selfish," and "You never respect me." How did a restaurant menu become a personal attack in seconds? The lethal trap, erasing the line between the person and the problem. Getting to yes teaches us the person across from you is not the obstacle is the problem standing between you. When you attack the person, you trigger one response, the defense mechanism. Logic dies. Ego takes the wheel. The other party stops looking for solutions. They are only thinking about how to protect themselves from you. The wise negotiator places the problem on the table and sits beside their opponent. Together, we both face this wall. How do we tear it down? That sentence transforms confrontation into partnership. In under a second, be soft on the people, brutal on the problem, first law of sovereignty. But what comes next goes far deeper. Every person wears a mask in every negotiation. Once you learn to gently remove it, you will understand why people say no when they truly mean yes. Human beings wear masks called positions. I want this price. I won't agree to this term. This is my final offer. These are not truths. These are fortresses built to protect hidden vulnerabilities. Two people argue in a library. One wants the window open, the other wants it shut. They argue over how far. Neither is satisfied. Both believe winning means forcing the other to back down. The librarian asks the first, "Why open?" He says, "Fresh air." She asks the second, "Why closed?" He says, "To avoid the draft." She opens a window in the next room. Fresh air. No draft. Everyone is happy. If they had stayed obsessed with their positions, they would have been in conflict forever. The secret is one word. Why? Never ask your opponent what they want. Ask them why. Search for the silent drivers: fear, security, recognition. There is always a solution that satisfies both interests, even when positions seem completely opposed. This leads to the question most people ignore and pay dearly for in every negotiation. What if the cake you divide is far smaller than you think? What if you could bake a bigger one? Why does the world assume life is a fixed-size cake? If you take a large slice, must mine shrink? This scarcity mindset is the prison of the poor and the greatest barrier to creative outcomes. The elite negotiator does not divide the cake. They bake a bigger one. Before accepting failure, sit with the other party and say, "Let's imagine a world without limits. What are all the possible ways to solve this?" Let them talk. Listen. Don't judge any idea, no matter how absurd. Search for synergy. What costs you little may be worth everything to them. Hunt for low-cost, high-value trades. This is where no dissolves into. The smartest negotiators don't win through stubbornness. They win through creativity. But there is a truth no one has told you. The real source of your power in any negotiation is not your words, not your logic. It is something the other party feels before you even open your mouth. We now arrive at the most vital concept in the history of human interaction: BATNA, your best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Never walk into any room feeling like you must reach a deal. If your success depends on a single yes from one person, you are not a negotiator. You are a hostage to your own need. Your power does not come from your tongue. It comes from the alternative in your pocket. If walking out still leaves you with a solid plan B, your calm will be terrifying. You won't rush. You won't concede without reason. You won't accept less than you deserve. People smell need the way dogs smell fear. Once they see you cannot walk away, your power collapses instantly. Build your alternatives before any discussion. Your strength begins outside the room and shows itself in the stillness of your presence inside it. And, most importantly, these skills are not just techniques. They are an ethical stance toward life. Here is a real example that will shift your thinking immediately. Imagine negotiating your salary. The company offers far below your worth. Most people immediately think, I cannot turn this down. There is nothing else waiting. That thought alone is what makes them accept far less than they deserve. The smart negotiator does the opposite. 2 weeks before, they send their resume to 3 other companies. Not to leave, but to know their true market value. When they walk in with a competing offer already in hand, they face that employer with entirely different eyes. The calm that alternatives give you is the most powerful card you hold. Build your alternatives before you need them. That is the rule of the game, the difference between someone who negotiates and someone who simply begs. Ultimately, getting to yes is not a technical skill. It is an ethical posture. The realization that the person before you, however difficult, is a human being carrying fears and dreams that look remarkably like your own. When you negotiate with wisdom, you don't just win a deal, you build a bridge. Real sovereignty is not in forcing submission. It is in making people choose, willingly, to give you what you want. The psychology of yes is the victory of reason over instinct and wisdom over ego. Go now. Apply what you learned today in your very next opportunity. Don't just demand what you deserve. Negotiate to make the world a place where everyone can finally say yes. Hit like now. You tell the algorithm it deserves to be heard. Share it with someone who needs it before their next negotiation. Next episode. The shocking technique Nelson Mandela used to turn his fiercest enemies into steadfast allies. One you will not see coming. Now I want to know, what is the hardest negotiation you are facing right now? Write it below. Because the negotiation that changes your life is probably already waiting for you tomorrow.